Welcome back to 18 Birdies Golf 101. This video is the fundamentals of the swing, and if you haven't seen the fundamentals of the club video, you should definitely watch that now. In this video, you're going to learn how the fundamentals of the club affect the fundamentals of the swing. Let's start with pitching wedge and talk about how the loft of the pitching wedge affects the setup and the impact position need, and how that affects your backswing and your downswing, and how that affects your ball flight. As mentioned in the fundamentals of the club video, the face has to lean a little bit forward or toward the target in order for the golf ball to touch the sweet spot. That affects the club's path both downward and outward, and it also affects where the club is going already before you even take the club back. Because the handle's set slightly forward, the club head is already on a slight path inward and upward, even at address. As you start taking the club back, it's going to force your body to turn. With a pitching wedge, our turn's going to be a little bit more upright just due to the lie angle of the club. So you don't have to think too much about how much you're turning and how you're turning. You can just use the lie angle of the club or the way the club sits naturally on the ground to determine the way you turn as you go back. While we're on the pitching wedge, but this rings true for every club in your bag, one thing to make a note of is your grip. Your grip needs to give you enough control that your club head stays on plane or on path in the backswing, and you have enough control over the club to deliver it back on that path and into the ball, allowing for a solid strike. I think the best way I've found to help people understand what control is in the grip is to just put the club out in front of you and put out your top hand or your lead hand and see what happens when you roll your knuckles under the grip and then try to support the club. Then roll it to about flat, see that position, and then roll it to a slightly cupped position. And you'll feel in that little bit of cupped position, you'll feel you have much more control of the golf club. So that's our key, is control, and you can test which grip feels best to you with your top hand to control the club in your swing. Okay, once you've found a comfortable and secure grip, the next step is getting a stable and powerful stance with your body. We're going to take our pitching wedge and get set up in a stance that just feels comfortable to us right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. The main key is that we have the club soled flat on the ground, and that we align the sweet spot to where an imaginary ball would be, or to a real ball if you're at the range. From there, we're going to visualize that club's path up and inside on the arc, and we're going to let that visualization lead our body turn in our backswing. As you start practicing some of these backswing rehearsals, you'll feel if your stance is too narrow or too wide to allow you to turn freely but also provide some stability. Now, once we've done a few rehearsals in our backswing and we feel that we've got a stable, balanced stance that can provide some power in our golf swing, we're going to retrace that path, slow motion, back down to the ball and feel what's happening in our body as we turn back to impact. And we just want to get comfortable with what's happening with our body as we deliver the club back down that path and into a solid impact position. From there, your follow through is actually kind of like it says, it's a follow through. It's going to follow every action that you made on your way to impact. So you don't have to focus too much on your follow through. If you've done everything correctly coming into impact, your follow through will just be a function of your swing up to that point. You can make these practice or rehearsal setups and slow motion swings with every club in your bag now that you know what the club needs to look like at impact and how that affects the swing path going back, the swing path coming down, and your follow through again will just be a function of everything that led up to that point. A couple quick things to look out for while you're doing these rehearsals with your pitching wedge, 7-iron, hybrid, driver. We want to make sure that we're making it easy on ourselves to deliver the club back into that impact position on the way down. And so we want to watch out for things like sway, where we might move a lot this way on the backswing or a lot this way on the downswing. The more centralized we are in our swing, the easier it will be to deliver the club on a consistent path through impact. Another thing to watch out for is an early hit from the top of our backswing. That desire to strike at the ball will throw our club off path, and it won't allow the club to come back into impact the way it needs to be to hit the sweet spot. You can use 18 Birdies AI Coach to track your swing path and positions and your body angles anytime you need a checkup. Again, the fundamental thing to remember is that every club has a job and every club is designed to hit the sweet spot. And that sweet spot impacts how you need to swing the club to hit an effective shot. As always, thank you for watching and happy golfing.